really lovely little lightweight, summer weight Burberry here. This folds up really quite small. It's not one of the Aquascutum Packer Mats. It's just Burberry 100% cotton, but it's really, really light. And it's got a belt, really stylish to wear. Quite a few Burberry and other great makes too, but yesterday to one of my Chinese friends I sold a Burberry gabardine. Now most Burberry coats are cotton, but some are gabardine. They will say 100% wool as opposed to cotton and cotton polyester. And I think Burberry invented gabardine. And yeah, I sold this range. I was thinking, well, yeah, maybe I should have kept that for myself. Anyway, quick tour of the storeroom. I'm still trying to make some space here because we're going to get some manufacturing started here. And so a lot of this stuff has to go. So we're doing great prices. Nice row of suits. Lots and lots of Jermyn Street shirts. There's just a tiny amount. I haven't got space to display 1,000 shirts here. They do take a lot of room for such a thin thing, but yeah, lots of Jermyn Street shirts. Loads of duffel coats. This is the beige section of overcoats. The city coats, the navy blue and the grey and charcoal grey and black ones are over there. But it's all the beige stuff. Also got a nice long pile of British warm coats. These are quite stylish with belted overcoats. Very favoured by Italians and Germans for some reason. What else have we got? Yeah, lots more suits. Yeah, there used to be a lot of people in England specialising in just outerwear, you know, raincoats and overcoats. And this company, Swallow, I mean, that aeroplane looks like a 1940s one to me. So yeah, this company is long gone, but there used to be dozens of companies. I can think of lots of companies. I mean, my favourite one is probably Inverter, that made really super quality English garments. And there's nothing left of it now, nothing at all. Yeah. These are nice if you like a nice comfortable overcoat. These sort of tweedy raglan sleeve ones, put these on, it's just like wearing a blanket. They don't have the sort of sharp tailored shoulder, so these are great for just throwing on like a cape, really. There's more, quite a few velvet jackets here, a few more overcoats too. What else have we got? Burberry fans, more Burberry scarves, or more Burberry overcoats just here. Now this long line down here was looking a little bit untidy. On one side there's about 1,000 dinner jackets, and on this side there's a few hundred city coats, classic sort of Crombie, some with raglan sleeves, some with inset shoulder like that, and just one or two left in the incredibly popular Peaky Blinders style, sometimes called a Chesterfield double-breasted peak lapel. Now, I'm not very keen personally on wax jackets, but I like some wax jackets. I quite like these. This company is a sort of market leader. I think they invented this. It's an Australian style. This company is called Dry as a Bone. And these coats, they're really long, come almost down to your ankles. Dog walkers love them because when a muddy dog jumps up at you, you're fearless wearing one of these. I've never quite understood this system of the collar with the strap that goes under the armpit like that, but somebody might explain it to me sometime. I'm sure there's some trick that's eluding me. Yeah, I've got a couple of these. They are actually really super windproof, weatherproof garments. Yeah, Dry as a Bone, I think, is probably the best maker. Lots of striped blazers around. I've got a little stash of those somewhere. And oh no, this is the ladies section. Not had many girls here recently, so I need to get it tidied up because I'll be getting. We're going to be having a spring festival party here quite soon. More about that later. Right, further tour. What have we got? These inner liners for Burberry's and Aquascutum. I might have mentioned this before. Going to make some waistcoats out of these. Yeah, be quite nice, and I can use the original Burberry label as well, so it will be a Burberry waistcoat. I'm making for girls because I can get more of the small sizes out. I'm not faking them as Burberry waistcoats, but it will be made from Burberry materials, genuine Burberry materials, with the lovely old Burberrys, the old company Burberrys. Yeah. I've got a lot of ties. As you can probably see, I think there's about 10,000 English woven silk ties here. So it was the best of ties and the worst of ties. I'm not sure if I'd wear that, but I would applaud anybody that will wear it. But there's every kind of tie here for every kind of person. Yeah, this is my more of my girls' waistcoats. These were, I'll be making these again, but they'll be made in my little workshop in Shenzhen in China now. Lots of tweeds. I think it's a little bit untidy here, but if you look down here, there's a few hundred tweed suits and tweed jackets. Mainly jackets, but there's just about everybody's size, from size 36, it might even be one size 34, to size 48 and size 50. Mappin & Webb handbags. Lots more tweeds here. This stuff's got to be sorted out. There's quite a lot of blazers from... I mean, if you wanted a blazer and you wanted the best one, you probably went to Aquascutum or Dax to get yourself a blazer in the 60s and 70s. Geeves, of course, who made all the naval kit, were also pretty good for blazers, but being Savile Row, theirs were even more expensive than an Aquascutum one. I remember waiting for the Aquascutum sale every year to go and buy myself from something. I would normally buy a blazer from Aquascutum. Yeah, lots more tweed. This is a lovely old barleycone, traditional Harris tweed one from early 60s. So stupid, I don't have an overcoat. This was really popular for raglan sleeve overcoats, and I doubt I'll even find one now. I used to be able to find them in charity shops, but in this colour and the brown colour, they were fabulous overcoats. But I mean, that's from the 1950s, so there's not many around now. But yeah, this window pane check's been really popular. Personally, I'm getting just a tiny little bit bored with it now, and I like the shepherd checks and the houndstooth checks, and this barleycorn is my favourite. Now Marks and Spencer's and Dunn & Co. made these to try and catch up with Carnaby Street and everything else. They weren't super cool at the time because they were Marks and Spencer's and Dunn, but now they look pretty good. Is this a Dunn's one? Yeah, this is Marks and Spencer's. Yeah. Handy thing about Marks and Spencer's is they put the size in. Yeah, so it's awkward when you're trying to find the size of something. You have to physically try everything on. And you see lots and lots of ties here. It's like every kind of tie for every kind of person. Yeah, that's nice. Black and silver. This would be a nice Ascot tie if you're going full-on traditional black and silver at Ascot. That would be a nice tie for that. Lots of ties here with various themes, like this has got a gardening theme. These polka dots. Loads of ties with little ships and sailing dinghies and things on. Yeah, lots of that. Oh, yeah, somebody in America asked me for some size 46 vintage Harris tweed. Now, that's a bit of a tall order, because especially for a tall person, you don't get much vintage Harris tweed that will fit 46 long. But this one, this is the old sort of early 50s, 1940s Harris tweed label, and it's Society brand. Now, Society brand was the brand of the co-op, the cooperative society. They used to sell clothes. They did gabardine raincoats for schoolgirls, which are really sought after now. But yeah, some lovely old Harris tweed here. This is a bespoke one, so it doesn't have the Harris tweed label, and it's made by some provincial tailor. What else have we got? By the time I took my coat off, I just arrived. Oh, yeah. The reason I want to get rid of this central section here is to make some space so I can start making caps. I'm going to be making caps from a lot of recycled materials. When you make a suit, there's always a metre left over or half a metre over, and you can get maybe 3 caps out of that odd metre. Also, I've got a lot of tweed jackets. They've got a little bit of damage, or they're a size that nobody's ever going to buy, like 52 extra short or something. But you can maybe make 3 or 4 caps out of the tweed. So whereas I used to throw moth-damaged tweed away, I stopped doing that quite a while now. I store it because at some time that's going to make half a dozen caps. So the lining material and everything from an old jacket is going to make a super cap. In the either county caps like this one, we used to call these county caps, but before Peaky Blinders, maybe 15, perhaps even 20% of the caps that I used to make would be the 8-piece, slightly American sort of Baker's Boy style. Since Peaky Blinders, more than 90% of the caps that people want to buy now are the Baker's Boy. But I'll be still making lots of these, and my cap's the only one you can do this with, or remember, because I don't use any plastics or synthetic materials in my caps. All 100% cottons, wools and leather. I made some of these in anticipation of a film that I was working on, Holmes and Watson film with John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell. And I thought, well, I better make some deerstalkers. But they only used one deerstalker right at the end of the film when Holmes was deciding on his look. This one here is called the Bugatti style, or referred to as Bugatti style, motoring cap. These flaps sort of button up over the top like a deerstalker as well. I'll be making some of these. This is a bit of a shout out. If there are any good machinists in South Yorkshire, I need some good machinists to be making these caps. Might make some waistcoats and some +4s here as well, and do a bit of sampling. So yeah, here we go. And if anybody's looking for one of these little Indian pianos, got one of these too. I think they'd probably call it a harmonium. And you work it with one hand and sort of just play one-handed. So yeah, nice little bit of kit. Yeah, somebody's going to want that. Cravats. I didn't realise I still had as many cravats in stock. It was cravats that really started me in manufacturing. Somebody came into my shop. Well, he didn't came into a shop. A van pulled up outside the shop and said, "Are you David Saxby?" Oh, yeah. "Oh, I've got some silk for you." I said, "What?" And there was a big quantity of English woven silk from the manufacturers in Sudbury. This is before I had a factory near there myself. I thought, yeah, all right. Then this guy that sent it phoned and we had a deal. And so I found myself with a lot of silk. I thought, well, what am I going to do with this? And I thought, well, yeah, I can make something out of it. It was mainly silk for making ties. But it was at that time when loud, flashy waistcoats were suddenly very popular and fashionable because of the film Four Weddings and a Funeral. So I got started making waistcoats from English woven silk. I bought this silk which might cost £40, £50 a metre for £3-4 a metre. So I could be quite cavalier with it. This silk here is it's actually a Turnbull and Asser silk. I've got Turnbull and Asser ties in the same pattern. It's also in a orange background. This one here, it's really beautiful Art Deco. I mean, some of this silk is made for people like Hermes and Dunhill, and some of it still has the branding on it. But when you're buying surplus silk, if you go along to the factories that produce silk for ties, you'll get stripes after stripes after stripes, loads and loads and loads of stripes, and then you'll see some Paisley or some golf theme, and they're the ones that are really going to sell quickly. Anything with golf written on it, or anything with horses on, or fox mask, sells really quickly. So I was always in the sort of factory shops in from the silk weavers in Sudbury, trying to find some more interesting patterns for cravats. But I've still got hundreds of English woven silk cravats here, so cravat fans, you know where to come.